Hi, my loves. As we step into December, the final chapter of 2025, Spirit asked me to sit down with the deck and bring through a collective reading for the energy of this month. So if you're here, you're meant to hear this message. Take a breath, get comfortable, and let's tune in together. But before we start, I want to gently remind you that this is a collective reading, so not everything will be meant for everyone. Make sure that you always trust your intuition. Take only what resonates with your spirit and lovingly leave anything that doesn't. I also want to let you know that I'm working on our timeline check-in questions for this week's video, and I want your input. If there's something that you want me to check in for the timeline specifically, leave it below in the comments and make sure that you mention that it's for the timeline check-in. Otherwise, I'll add your question to our viewer list for a future session. And for those who have trusted me to read for you, thank you from my heart. If you ever want a personal tarot or pendulum reading, I offer both in my Etsy shop. You'll find the link in the video description and in the pinned comment below. Once there, you can read all the reviews and testimonials from others who have received readings from me. All right, my loves, let's see what Spirit wants to share with us for December. The first card we received is Loss. Then we received Fears, followed by Source. My love, Spirit is showing me that as we cross into December, the collective is stepping into a frequency that's both heavy and holy. The cards speak of loss and fears, but Spirit is saying that this isn't about grief or anxiety alone. It's about the echo of everything that we've carried throughout this year. Some of you are still grieving versions of yourself you've outgrown. Others are mourning relationships, stability, innocence, or a sense of safety that 2025 shook loose. But Spirit keeps pointing me towards Source, the anchored energy of this spread. What I'm hearing is this: when everything external feels unstable, Spirit becomes the ground beneath your feet. This month pulls us inward. It asks us to stop looking for reassurance in places that have already proven that they can't hold us. It's asking us to reconnect with our intuition, our ancestors, and our higher self, because that's where the truth lives. This isn't fear to be afraid of. This is fear that signals transition, fear that tells us that something is shifting, fear that means the soul is preparing for a breakthrough. We're entering December a little bruised, a little tired, but deeply connected to something higher, whether we realize it yet or not. Spirit then gave us Repression, Mirror Effect, and Message to Pass On. Spirit is lifting a veil this month. Repression tells me that people have been holding words in their throats, emotions in their chest, and intuition in their gut. The nation has been sitting on top of a boiling pot of truth, and December is going to crack the lid open. Mirror Effect adds another layer. We're seeing our leaders, our system, and even our communities reflect parts of ourselves that we haven't wanted to look at. Our fear, our resilience, our shadows, our longing for honesty, and our desire for justice. There's a mirror of truth here. What's happening outside is awakening something inside. And then Message to Pass On comes through. This feels like whistleblowers, leaks, revelations, testimonies, and truths that can't be filtered or silenced anymore. It also feels like spiritual messengers, the collective receiving intuitive nudges, synchronicities, warnings, dreams, and moments of clarity. December is the month where people finally say, I can't keep quiet, and Spirit is fully supporting these revelations. Then Spirit gave us Freedom, Message of Warning, Karmic Message, and Help. The hidden energy of December is a spiritual tug of war. Spirit is showing me freedom as the soul of this month, a collective desire to break free from manipulation, confusion, control, and emotional exhaustion. The collective subconsciously wants liberation, clarity, truth, and autonomy. The message of warning is not meant to be fear-based. It's Spirit saying, pay attention to power plays, illusions, distractions, and sudden shifts. There may be attempts to steer narratives, suppress information, or redirect public focus. Karmic message brings justice energy, cycles completing, truth balancing itself, and people facing the consequences of their choices, for better or worse. This is not punishment energy, it's universal rebalancing. And then we received help, spiritual and human allies working behind the scenes. This feels like support coming from unexpected sources, like new voices rising, people telling the truth, unexpected allies, spiritual intervention, energetic protection, ancestral guidance, and whistleblowers stepping forward. December is a karmic checking point, but one with protection woven into every corner. Spirit then gave us calm, respect, message of forgiveness, and reproach. With this spread, Spirit is advising us to move through December with intentional calm, not silence, not passivity, but centered awareness, the kind that keeps you rooted even when the world is shaking. Respect shows a need for boundaries, respect for your energy, respect for your mental health, and respect for your intuition when it tells you to step back or step away. Message of forgiveness feels like Spirit guiding the collective to release the emotional residue of this year. The resentment, the guilt, the shame, that I should have known better, and that I should have done more. And reproach is showing me this. Some of the pain we carry into conflict is pain that we never processed. December asks us to look inward with honesty, but without cruelty. And I hear Spirit saying, heal before you react, reflect before you speak, because you deserve peace more than you deserve to be right. This month rewards emotional maturity. Then Spirit gave us soon, free message, happiness, and duality. The blessing of December is something breaking open, and it's happening soon. There is clarity coming, truth coming, and relief coming. Spirit is saying that the answers that we've been searching for about the nation, about your personal life, about your path, they're getting ready to surface. Free message tells me that the collective is going to receive signs, intuitive downloads, synchronicities, dreams, and sudden inner knowing. Spirit is speaking louder, and the veil is getting thinner. The happiness card in this spread is gentle and sacred. It's a kind of happiness that comes from release, not from gain. It's internal light returning after a long period of heaviness. But duality reminds us that December will be holding both shadow and light, both difficulty and breakthrough, both endings and beginnings, both exposure and healing. Spirit is blessing the collective with the ability to hold both without losing hope. And the last card Spirit offered was Guide, Spiritual Message, and Regrets. The final message is a soft but powerful closing note from Spirit. Guide shows your ancestors, your spiritual team, higher beings, and protective energies stepping much closer during this month. This isn't metaphorical, it's literal energetic proximity. Spiritual message feels like Spirit is saying, trust the whispers, trust your knowing, trust the way that your soul nudges you when something is off or when something is right. And lastly, they gave us regrets. This is the soul cleansing. This is Spirit telling the collective not to bring the weight of what ifs into the new year. Let the past year be the past year. Break the pattern on carrying yesterday's pain into tomorrow's chapters. Love, you are being asked to release, reflect, and reset. Because December is a bridge into a new spiritual landscape. and Spirit wants you walking across with clarity, not with regret. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. This month's energy came through with so much depth. Spirit acknowledging our exhaustion, our clarity, our inner shift, and the truth that's rising beneath the surface as we head towards 2026. There's a lot unfolding, both on the world stage and inside our own hearts, and Spirit is gently preparing us for both. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your insights, and what resonated with you in today's session. Leave it all in the comments. I read everything. But remember, love, that this was a collective reading, so trust your intuition, use your discernment with everything that came through, only take what resonated with your heart and leave anything that didn't. Collective messages won't always resonate with everyone. If you ever feel called to dive deeper into your own situation, my tarot and pendulum readings are always available on Etsy. You can find the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment below. Once there, you'll be able to read the reviews that have been left by others. My love, as we walk into this new month and the very last one of the year, my prayer is that you find clarity where you've been confused, softness where you've been tired, and a little light exactly where you need it the most. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll meet you in the comments.